Didn't you say your cat could do a backflip? Let me see it do one. She has her period today. How can a male cat have a period? Maybe she's just not in the mood. Yesterday you said she could do a Thomas spin. Cats are just humble creatures. But you posted on your moments. My takeout can even pull off real-life scams. She can shed a shocking amount of fur. So you tricked me into coming to your place. How about I do a backflip for you instead? Don't stop with your nonsense. I was just in the middle of eating my melon. Wow. But I never expected the woman to burst in so hard. I was knocked flying right behind the door. Your delivery has arrived. Please remember to leave a 5-star review. I didn't expect that delivering food today would send me down from the 28th floor. But in the next second, I wasn't splattered like a pancake. Instead, I saw a few sword-riding cultivators, whistling past right above my head. One of them even turned back to yell at me. Which mortal is flying around recklessly like they have a death wish? Damn, I'm flying too. Before I could react, I plunged straight into a lake. I can't swim! While I was struggling in the water, my hand accidentally touched something smooth. After struggling to the surface, a shiny cold sword was immediately pressed against my neck. You filthy pervert! How dare you try to peek at this Seng's bathing? Please let me explain. I fell from the 28th floor. What is the 28th floor? It's a really tall building. Still making up nonsense, huh? At that moment, the sword-riding cultivators also landed nearby. Seng says, this person has no spiritual power yet can fly through the air. He might not be a regular mortal. Could he be one of the legendary demons from another world? No way, man. I'm just a delivery guy. Delivery, what sect is that from? Everyone from the Full Yet? Sect was visibly shaken. Full Yet? What a dominating name. His sect elders must be nearby. Seng says we'd better retreat for now. With that, they vanished from the lake's surface. I struggled to crawl ashore, looking around. Damn, where the hell am I now? Is this even in my country? Activated. As soon as I finished talking, 3 panels appeared in front of my eyes. Option 1, Supreme Tao, cultivate for 1 day, equals 10 days for others. Option 2, Peerless Divine Weapon, start with 1 Zhuantian sword. It can automatically block and deflect damage. But the third panel made me frown. Mobile farm, everything grown in the farm, can be materialized in the real world. What's the deal with the third one? Farming in the cultivation world? Only someone out of their mind would pick that. But just as I was overjoyed, and about to pick the second option, young man, what are you mumbling and waving your hands about? A sudden slap made my airborne finger tap on option 3. Congratulations on binding the mobile farm system. A virtual phone has been issued. With red eyes, I spun around and grabbed him by the collar. Old dang, look what you did. Your slap made me lose my unbeatable chance. I was about to curse out the old guy, but instead he just smiled. He easily pried my hand off his collar. I was suddenly shocked inside. Damn, this old guy is not ordinary. Better not end up dead. I'd better play it safe. I'm Suzanne, old man. Judging by your strange clothes, you must be fleeing here from out of town. A chance encounter is fate. But out here in the wilds, there are monsters roaming at night. Why don't you come with me to the town to lay low? Surrounded by this creepy place, I had no choice but to grit my teeth and agree. Lead the way, sir. Then I started researching that damned system. On the virtual phone screen, there was only a cultivation farm app. I tapped to open it. Just a patch of yellow earth and a shabby warehouse, plus an initial balance of 100. Just as I was about to check the system store to see what I could buy, the system issued a newbie quest. Own a shop in Qinglong Town. Officially begin your farming and vegetable selling journey in the cultivation world. Startup fund of 50 taels has been issued. I reached into my pocket, and sure enough, pulled out 5 ingots of 10 taels of snowflake silver. Half an hour later, we arrived at Qinglong Town. The streets were full of noise and people. Su Zun walked in front with his hands behind his back, acting as my tour guide, endlessly introducing everything. Young man, see that place? This one's selling DJ gourds. That shop by the north gate is selling gathering slips. Dealing with Su Zun's chatter, I just nodded along perfunctorily. Then my eyes were caught by a general store. The storefront looked shabby, but it had a backyard perfect for a direct from farm shop. I stepped into the shop. Behind the counter sat a charming lady boss, dozing off. Next to her, the clerk was sweeping dust. Seeing this, I went straight to the point. Madam Boss, are you selling? Su Zun's face was in total disbelief. The lady boss's pretty face instantly turned red. You shameless rascal. How dare you flirt with me in broad daylight? I'll chop you up today. At this critical moment, Su Zun dropped to his knees and did a perfect slide from the shop entrance to the counter. Then he grabbed the lady boss's leg and pleaded for me. This kid's brain got kicked by a donkey. He forgot to take his medicine before going out today. Forgive him, he's not worth it. Don't stoop to his level. What are you two even talking about? I mean, is this shop for sale or not? As soon as I said that, Su Zun shot to his feet from the ground and stuck his finger right up my nose, practically spitting in my face. You son of a bitch, can you not just speak clearly? The lady boss awkwardly put away her knife. I'll sell. This lousy store's been waiting to change owners. 50 taels of silver, shop with the backyard included, no haggling, deal. The lady boss took the money and left immediately. So why are you still here, me? Then I kicked him right out the door. Shut the door. Quest complete. Reward has arrived. A pack of spiritual cabbage seeds. Please plant your first batch of vegetables and sell them. Earn your first bucket of gold. Then I focused my mind into the farm in my head. After planting the seeds, tender green seedlings immediately sprouted from the soil. There's a countdown above the icon, 10 minutes till harvest. Oh my God. I suddenly opened my eyes wide, almost jumped up from the threshold. If I had this speed back in the modern world with a greenhouse, why would I need to deliver food anymore? I'd be a vegetable tycoon instead. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, the spirit cabbages were ripe. Looking at the mountain of cabbages that appeared, my eyes almost popped out. How the hell is this even considered cabbage? Each of these dozen or so cabbages was huge and full. Every leaf looked as if it had been carved out of jade. Even more outrageous, there was a faint glow flowing on the surface of the cabbages. I took a deep breath and instantly felt full of energy. Only from the system. This is truly the pinnacle of advanced technology and ruthless methods. How much can a system like this sell for? Spiritual energy cabbage is packed with pure wood elemental spiritual energy. There's not a trace of impurity. Suggested retail price: 1 piece of lower grade spirit stone per head. System buyback rate: every spirit stone can be exchanged for 10 system coins. I have no concept of how much snack money that is. Since the system set the price, I'll just go with it. After that, I started selling at the entrance. But half an hour went by, and no one bought anything. 1 lousy cabbage for a lower grade spirit stone. The shop owner must be out of their mind from poverty. Even the lowest rank key gathering pill is only 2 spirit stones. Why doesn't he just go rob people? These cultivators really don't know anything valuable. Just then, a delicate fragrance drifted over. A girl immediately caught my eye. She was breathtakingly beautiful. She wore a long ink black dress, accentuating her slender waist. Stunning and cool at the same time. But those big eyes of hers kept darting around nervously. Hey beauty, buying some veggies. Check out this cabbage. Just pulled fresh from the ground. Full of spiritual energy. Honest business, fair to everyone. The girl's eyes were immediately drawn to the cabbage too. Other people may not notice, but as the demon sect leader sneaking down for fun, Liu Qing knew quality when she saw it. Because inside the cabbage flowed spiritual energy with absolutely no impurities. Shocked, she started breathing heavier, trying to stay calm. A burst of spiritual pressure leaked out, and the shop's temperature plummeted to freezing. My back instantly felt cold, even while picking my nose. I suddenly got the feeling she was going to rob and kill me. Great, on my very first day. I'm about to be killed and looted by this demoness. I thought my time was up, but instead Liu Qing slapped down 10 lower-grade spirit stones on the table. I was stunned. This demoness, who just oozed killing intent, suddenly spoke in an uncharacteristically respectful tone. Elder, no. Boss, I'll buy all your cabbage. Wait, what's going on? Did this demoness take the wrong medicine? Turns out Liu Qing just tried to sense my cultivation level, but found zero spiritual activity from me under her pressure, and I was still picking my nose. She instantly imagined a grand story in her head. No ordinary mortal could casually produce this kind of spiritual item, let alone openly sell it like nothing. How could I be a normal person? She was sure I had concealed my cultivation, a true master in hiding, living among mortals. Polishing his skills amid the dust of the mundane world, running this hole-in-the-wall shop, surely contemplating the Tao. Thinking how she almost acted against a true expert, Liu Qing broke out in a cold sweat on her back. So she hurriedly handed over the spirit stones and bowed her head. Not knowing any of this, I quickly packed up the cabbage for her. You're awesome, beautiful. Come visit us again anytime. But after Liu Qing got her cabbage, she didn't leave. Instead, she suddenly came closer. Boss, you just opened this shop. I bet you're short on help, right? How about me? I can do anything. Cleaning tables and sweeping the floor, I'm super quick. I took half a step back, clutching the pocket where the money was. Just so you know, we're a startup. Money is really tight in these early days. I can't afford to pay much. Plus, I don't offer health insurance or benefits. Who wants your money? I don't want a salary at all. Just room and board is fine. All I need is to eat this cabbage every day. I just stood there, a cartoon question mark slowly appearing over my head. You don't want a salary. You just want to eat cabbage? Are all the pretty girls in the cultivation world a little bit crazy? I cautiously asked. Seriously, you want no pay? Absolutely none. I slapped my thigh. Deal, I'm Bai Zi. From now on, you're the chief clerk of this Bai family farm, direct sales store. All right. What's your name? I didn't call you. I mean, what's your name? I'm Liu Qing. She smiled radiantly, with a hint of shrewdness flickering in her eyes. So, on my very first day in this cultivation world, I earned my first pot of gold, and somehow ended up with a stunning employee. Just as I was fantasizing about my bright future, the front door swung open. Su Zun, that grumpy old guy, walked in like he owned the place. Casually picked up a fierce-looking cabbage. Hey, kid, do you only sell cabbage here? He glanced at the price, and his voice jumped up in pitch. You're charging a whole stone for just one cabbage? You're even greedier than the demon sect. What, does eating this cabbage make you ascend to immortality or something? Looking at that abandoned cabbage, I said, Hey, old dang, handle it gently. That's top quality stuff. If you break it, not even selling you will cover the loss. Wow, so stingy. No sooner had he finished speaking, he spotted Liu Qing wiping the tables. Wow, I leave for just one night. And you already found yourself such a gorgeous beauty to help out. Nice. Smooth skin and all. You sure you want her doing hard labor? I was just about to explain, when 3 figures stepped over the threshold. The leader had a sinister face, while the 2 behind him were expressionless. When they entered, they all dropped to one knee in front of Liu Qing. Lord Sect Leader, Bai Qi has finally found you. Sect Leader, looking at these 3 guys in black robes, I was totally dumbfounded. Damn, what the hell is going on? Are these guys doing a cosplay event? They're even calling her Sect Leader. That's some professional level commitment. I'm just a veggie vendor. It's not like I ever did anything bad. Are they here for protection money or team building? Bai Qi, what are you doing here? Sect Leader, there are many important matters in the sect. Please return with us to manage everything. I'm not going back. Bai Qi stood up slowly, a cruel, chilling grin flashing in his eyes. If the sect leader won't come back, then you'll never go back again. As soon as he finished speaking, Bai Qi suddenly waved his hand. A few more men in black instantly jumped in from the window. The glint of steel swords was blinding. I was scared out of my wits, and instinctively hid under the counter. The fight kept getting fiercer, with no sign of stopping. Before I knew what happened, a terrifying wave of force suddenly erupted, sending me flying into the air and crashing heavily to the ground. Oh, my back! My butt. Does cosplay nowadays come with explosive effects? And this floor is way too hard. Host's situation detected as extremely dangerous. Mission triggered. Kill the demon sect second in command, Bai Qi. Reward, 1 pack of high-level spiritual herb seeds. System coins, 1,000. System bro, look at the iron guts they have. And then look at me. Are you sure you want me to kill him and not get myself chopped up and fed to the pigs? I just finished cursing him out when I saw my shop looked like it had just been bombed. A few top-quality cabbages rolled to the floor. That idiot looked ferocious. He came at Iron Egg step by step. You could hear people signing up even in the swirling air. Stop just giving me tasks. Can't you see I'm about to get killed here? Can I get an advance on that 1,000 gold coin reward? Help! Due to host's extremely dangerous situation, top-level shop exchange now enabled. Host balance, 100 coins, just enough to buy open hand. System, little yellow dirt dog. What use could this mutt possibly have? System product, guaranteed quality. I looked at the idiot trying to kill me, then glanced again at the only option on my panel. Buying with my coins, that's my entire fortune. Buy, who cares if it's a divine beast or a demon? As long as it can save my life. Get it out here for me, fast. I kept frantically clicking confirm in my mind. Purchase successful. System, yard guard little yellow has been dispatched. Immediately after, a faint white light flashed in front of me. I held my breath, eyes wide open, hoping maybe a Killen would jump out, or some kind of legendary divine beast like howling celestial dog. Best if it could breathe fire the moment it opens its mouth, and burn this whole group of villains up. But as the light faded, a little yellow dog, just the size of my palm, even wobbling as it walked, with dull yellow fur, appeared on the broken wooden beam. It even yawned nonchalantly right in front of the Colt's number 2, like it didn't have a care in the world. I was completely petrified on the spot. System, are you kidding me? This is the premium product. You promised? Besides smothering that idiot to death, what else could this thing do? Could it maybe go bite off someone's toe? Or is it supposed to block that gleaming machete for me? System product. Guaranteed quality. At that moment, the idiot wasn't even fazed by the sudden appearance of the puppy. Didn't lose his cool. He still spun the iron egg in his hands, glancing back and forth between me and the mutt, with a mocking smirk on his face. I have walked the cultivation world for years, seen people guard their homes with spirit beasts, and others guard their gates with puppets. But sending out some barely weaned critter like this to die, you're the first I've seen. Looks like you've really lost your mind. In that case, let me send you on your way. Consider it paying back your raising a dog sentiment. With that, the killing aura around the idiot surged. He suddenly raised his right hand. A wave of dark red mana gathered at his fingertips, aimed straight at my forehead. Just then, Lu Qing was getting tied up by a few men in black. Since he didn't have his guards with him, he couldn't break free for the moment either. He shouted in horror, seeing what was happening. "Boss, get out of the way!" My instinct was to close my eyes and wait for death. But suddenly the system alarm rang in my mind. Warning detected. System summon little yellow is extremely hungry. Transforming into divine dog costs 100 hunger points. Current hunger. Oh. Insufficient balance. Unable to trigger protection mode. Damn you, system. I knew 100 coins couldn't buy any serious cheat. Watching Bai Kai's killing blow come down. From the corner of my eye, I suddenly noticed those top-quality cabbages on the floor. That got knocked down when the counter smashed. The will to survive beat out my fear. I activated my single guy for 22 years fast hands. Like a starving dog at a feast. I grabbed the biggest half cabbage off the floor, not caring about dirt or wood chips, ripped it open, and shoved it right into Little Yellow's not yet full-grown mouth. Eat! Hurry up and eat! My fate depends on you. I was like an emotionless stuffing machine, furiously cramming cabbage stems into Little Yellow's mouth.
His once empty stare
Suddenly turned wolf-like with hunger. He gulped down a whole cabbage in 2 bites. Hunger level plus 40. Not enough. Here's more. I grabbed 2 more without even thinking, shoving them in left and right, stuffed his mouth like crazy. That dark red energy wave was getting dangerously close. For my last shot, I grabbed the last cabbage leaf with my nose and stuffed it in his mouth with all my might. Transformation condition met. Hunger used up, now zeroed out. But just as that deadly blast was about to hit me, a deep roar suddenly rang in my ears, so powerful it felt like it could shake mountains. I snapped my eyes open and saw the once feeble Little Yellow dog, suddenly blazing with golden light. Its size exploded in an instant. That once dull fur now shimmered with golden markings, almost like liquid gold in motion, exuding an ancient aura that chilled the soul. It's a legendary divine dog. Bai Kai's calm face instantly turned pale. He hadn't even finished his gasp before the golden-marked beast launched into action. With just a swipe of its paw, the once fierce Bai Qi was flung away like a fly, smashed straight through the walls, and then crushed midair by the divine dog's presence. Cult Deputy Bai Qi has been killed. Congratulations, host, you earned 1,000 gold coins and a pack of high-level spiritual herb seeds. The rest of the men in black in my shop were stunned, still holding their knives, but their legs were shaking unsteadily. They fled in terror in all directions. The divine dog sauntered back into the shop gracefully. Its golden light faded, and it changed back to that wobbly, goofy-faced Little Yellow mutt. It wagged its tail and ran to my feet, rubbing affectionately against my pant leg. I turned around and met Liu Qing's, almost popping out eyeballs. He stared at me dumbfounded, then at the little pup licking its paws, finally squeezing a sentence out through his teeth. Boss, come clean with me. Which mighty one experiencing mortal life are you really? That's obviously a divine beast. And you call it Little Yellow? And you even have him selling vegetables? It's been 7 days since that black market gang fight in the cultivation world. A whole 7 days, during which my vegetable-selling life was unusually peaceful. The shop got a fresh round of renovations. Not only a new front door, but even the old battered tables and chairs were replaced with solid rosewood furniture. As for the so-called divine guard dog from the system, Little Yellow, after that cyan transformation on the first day,
he went right back to his lazy, gluttonous dog self.
Right now, he's lying flat out in the sun at the shop's entrance, drooling all over the floor. As for Liu Qing, ever since witnessing the divine dog's power, he's taken over all the dirty and heavy chores in the shop, and bows a little every time he talks to me. Calls me boss every sentence, with that crazed fan look in his eyes, like he's seeing his idol. I really couldn't be bothered to explain, and couldn't even explain it if I tried. There's no way I can tell this cult leader that your boss
Actually,
is just a delivery guy who doesn't even know how to fly a sword. And that dog only cost me $100 from the system's blind box. That afternoon, I was dozing off in the rocking chair when that familiar heart-stopping mechanical voice sounded in my head. The high-grade spiritual herb you planted has matured. Please harvest in time. I snapped my eyes open, nearly fell out of the rocking chair. 7 days, a full 7 days. That lousy herb finally matured. I couldn't wait to dive into the farm with my mind and hit the one-click harvest button. The moment the spiritual herb materialized in the real world and appeared on the counter, the air in the entire shop seemed to freeze. Right after that, a wave of pure, visible spiritual energy spread out in all directions like ripples. I stared wide-eyed at the glowing green-blue plant on the counter, looking just like a giant shining radish. Just one whiff of its aroma, I could feel that leg pain from years of delivery work was completely gone. Damn, this effect is way over the top. I quickly glanced around and yanked a rag off the side, trying to cover up this shining radish. Gotta keep a low profile, after all. You can tell at a glance it's not ordinary stuff. But it was too late. That surge of pure spiritual power, unluckily, caught the attention of an unexpected guest. Floating outside the town, Han Yuanzong genius Ji Qing. He's recently stuck at a breakthrough bottleneck. He's so anxious his hair is about to fall out. All he needs is a spirit-rich herb as the key ingredient. Just as he was passing above Qinglong town, a refreshing medicinal aroma shot straight up to his head. Such a pure aura from a spirit plant. Heaven is truly helping me. A flash of feverish greed swept through Ji Qing's eyes. With a twist of his flying sword underfoot, he transformed into a rainbow, landing precisely at my shop's entrance. The half-closed shop door was kicked open arrogantly by him. Who is the shop owner? Ji Qing strode briskly into the shop. He was dressed in luxurious, eye-blinding gold-trimmed white brocade robes. He even pretended to fan himself with a folding fan. His chin was lifted higher than the ceiling. His gaze instantly skipped over me, fixated on the glowing spirit herb on the counter. Such a treasure! This spirit herb is incredible. Ji Qing was so excited his voice trembled. Then he glanced at me arrogantly, as if he was looking at an ant. A mortal wasting good fortune. This spirit herb is now mine. Think of it as you gifting me this opportunity. If anyone bothers you in the future, just tell them my name, Ji Qing from Han Yuanzong. After saying this, he swaggered and reached out, ready to stuff the spirit herb into his own pocket. I stood behind the counter, watching his shameless behavior. I couldn't help but laugh in disbelief. Hey, wait a minute. I snatched the spirit herb to my chest, rolling my eyes dramatically. Do you not understand human language? I'm running a business here. If you want to take it, pay for it. 1 medium-grade spirit stone. Not selling for a single coin less. Look at you, all dressed up fancy, coming into my small shop, trying to freeload. Freeloading made Ji Qing pause. Seems he didn't get this modern term, but quickly realized he was being insulted. His expression instantly darkened.
He sneered coldly. Big words for a mortal.
I am from Han Yuanzong, a sect genius who takes interest in your item is your luck. Since you refuse kindness, I'll just take both you and the herb. With that, his right hand clawed. Spirit power surged at his fingertips. He lunged for my throat. Instinctively, I tried to duck behind the counter. Suddenly, a crisp slap echoed inside the store. Ji Qing's once untouchable figure looked like he'd been hit by a dump truck. He was sent flying straight out, shattering the threshold, rolling several times along the stone street before stopping. I'd poked my head out in shock, only to see Liu Qing had appeared in front of the counter at some point. He was shaking off his wrist in disgust. He gazed down coldly at Ji Qing outside the door, eyes icy and intimidating. Where did this stray dog come from, barking in my boss's shop? Ji Qing, clutching his swollen cheek, struggled to climb up from the ground, stared at Liu Qing with a mix of shock and doubt. Then, seeming to sense something, his expression changed dramatically. His magic was cold and domineering, not a shred of righteousness. You're a demon sect witch. You're using secret techniques of the demon clan. His eyes rolled swiftly, then looked toward me hiding behind the counter. As if he'd found an earth-shattering secret. He pointed at me, yelling loudly. All right, I get it. This mortal isn't really a shop owner. She's a demon sect mole hidden among civilians. You're meeting here, plotting to wreak havoc in Qinglong town. Ji Qing retreated step by step, while pulling out a talisman from his clothes. Demon sect monsters. It's everyone's duty to kill them. You two just wait. I'm reporting this to the sect elders right now. I'll wipe out this shady shop. With that, he crushed the talisman, turning into a stream of light, and scrambled away. The shop fell quiet again. Only the townsfolk outside, watching and gossiping. I crawled out from under the counter, patting the dust off my clothes, looking at Liu Qing with grief and no tears left. Sis, I just wanted to sell veggies. How did I become a demon sect agent? Before Liu Qing could comfort me, the ominous robotic voice in my head rang out again. Detected. Host has been listed on the must-kill blacklist by major righteous sects. Main defense quest triggered. Quest target defeat Ji Qing. Quest reward, a farm guard. I looked at the quest panel. My vision went black. Nearly fainted right then and there. Defeat this sect genius? Ji Qing's system. Just kill me already. I'm really exhausted. Ji Qing may have run off, but shadows left behind still hang like dark clouds, hovering above my little shop. Within half a stick of incense, the once busy main street of Qinglong town now didn't even have a single soul left. Neighbors locking their doors, or fleeing as refugees. Everyone knows, Han Yuansong is the absolute ruler within 100 miles. Messing with them, this little Bai family farm shop will probably be flattened today. I'm as frantic as an ant on a hot pan, pacing behind the counter. I hurriedly stuffed the glowing rare spirit herb into a broken wooden box. Liu Qing, oh Liu Qing, that slap you threw was truly satisfying, huh? But what do we do next? Maybe we should pack our bags and run. As long as the green hills remain, we won't run out of firewood. While frantically stuffing silver and provisions into a cloth bag, I kept persuading Liu Qing. Liu Qing, leisurely wiping down the tables, heard me, put down the rag, glanced at me puzzled. Boss, are you joking? Liu Qing blinked those pretty big eyes, her tone full of blind confidence. With Han Yuanzong, that third-race sect, even if the whole sect joined forces, they're not enough for you to crush with just one finger. If you're worried fighting here will dirty the floors, I'll go guard the town gate, kill anyone who shows up, call it compost for your veggie field. Seeing his crazy "my boss is invincible" expression, I fell into absolute despair. Covering my face, sis, I've never even killed a chicken. How am I supposed to crush them? With my single life and 22 years of solo speed. Before I could shout that I'm really just a mortal, the sky outside suddenly darkened. What was once clear now looked torn apart. Dozens of sharp sword lights streaked across the sky like a meteor shower, accompanied by deafening sonic booms, all landing neatly outside my shop. Powerful sword energy surged in all directions, shattering my wooden doors into pieces. I was so scared my knees buckled, and crawled into a crack beneath the solid wood counter. Hugged my head, trembling. The dust outside settled. A group of sword cultivators had surrounded the shop completely. At the front was an elder with white hair and beard. He looked immortal and dignified. Stepping on a flying sword, hovering in midair, overlooking my shabby shop. That Ji Qing just smacked away, was now hiding behind the elder, pointing into the shop, cursing angrily. Elder Liu, this is the shady shop. That rare spirit herb is inside. That mortal is the demon sect mole. The demon sect witch who wounded me is also in there. Elder Liu stroked his long beard. His squinting eyes revealed a greed he no longer bothered to hide. People inside listened carefully. I am an inner elder of Han Yuanzong. You, as demon sect villains, dare to hide here, to harm our sect's genius. Today I shall enforce justice on behalf of heaven. If you know what's good for you, hand over that rare spirit herb as compensation. Then abolish your cultivation voluntarily. Maybe I'll show mercy, and let you keep your whole corpses. Hiding under the counter, I was rolling my eyes nonstop. This old guy really talks big. Basically, he just wants me to hand over the herb, and then obediently wait to die. So this is what they call a righteous sect. With such a dark heart, he could totally become sworn brothers with the deputy leader of the demon sect. Upholding justice, huh? Just you, an old fossil halfway in the grave. Liu Qing sneered coldly. She darted forward, appearing right outside the shop in an instant. Her previously restrained dark purple demonic energy erupted all at once. A tangible aura of pressure swept across the area, forcing those young disciples from Han Yuan's sect to rapidly retreat. So she really is a demonic monster. Disciples, follow my command. Form the formation. Follow me and slay this fiend. Elder Liu shouted loudly. The longsword in his hand was unsheathed. transforming into a gigantic silver dragon, roaring as it flew toward Liu Qing to kill her. Liu Qing wouldn't back down either. She flipped her jade-like hand. A whip wrapped in demonic energy appeared in her grasp. She rushed straight ahead. Outside, chaos broke out instantly. Dust and stones flew all around. The impact made my eardrums hurt under the counter. Just as I thought I could survive as long as I hid in the corner, that's when I would escape this catastrophe. A chilling voice suddenly echoed inside the shop. "Mortal, your protector has been held back by the elder. Let's see who else can save you this time." I quickly looked up. To my surprise, Ji Qing had slipped inside the shop amidst the chaos. No one knew when he'd gotten in.
His gaze
Was intensely locked onto the wooden box beside me. A bluish glow unique to spiritual herbs was shining from within. Such a heavenly treasure. Is something a mirror and like you could even hope to touch? Ji Qing sneered wickedly. He pulled out the sword from his waist.
His magic power surged around him.
He advanced toward me step by step. Prepare to die. Looking at the gleaming sword tip, I was scared out of my wits. Panicking, I reached out blindly and grabbed a cabbage stem that had just rolled to my feet. Eyes shut, I hurled it at him with all my might. While throwing it, I shrank back frantically. "Stay away from me. I'm just a vegetable seller, humph." Trivial trick. Ji Qing sneered with contempt. He couldn't even be bothered to swing his sword. Just slightly sidestepped and dodged the harmless cabbage stem without effort. He was about to harness his power and finish me off with one strike. But he never expected that with that step, bad luck struck. He stepped right into a puddle of drool left from the little yellow dog's nap. A big slick spot left by the dog. An unmistakably slippery sound rang out. Ji Qing's foot slipped suddenly. A cultivator when pouring all their power, preparing for a killing blow. The worst thing is to have their energy disrupted or lose their balance. Ji Qing did a perfect split. All the violent power gathered in his palm, instantly lost control. His whole body, in a comical pose, plunged forward violently. With a loud crash, his forehead slammed full force onto a leftover corner of the counter. And that wasn't the end of it. With that collision, his uncontrolled power inside him rushed about like a wild horse. Ji Qing didn't even get a word out. His eyes rolled back, and he collapsed stiffly. He ended up being killed by his own power backlash. His heart vein was shattered. And he died instantly right there. Hiding in the corner, I stared blankly at Ji Qing's corpse on the floor, eyes wide open in death. This prodigy really stepped in dog spit. He literally killed himself with a puddle of drool. Before I could recover from the shock of his hasty death, the long-awaited robotic voice rang out in my mind. Target determined to have gone mad due to host's environmental interference. Resulted in losing control. Judged as host's victory. Mission accomplished. Congratulations, host. You have received a brand new system. Shopkeeper farmer item has been granted to your hands. I was bursting with joy inside. Who cares how he died? As long as the mission is complete. Shopkeeper farmer, just by the name. And with the experience of the little yellow dog turning into a divine beast last time, this must be a warrior monk level guard, no doubt. Excitedly, I spread my hands out, ready to welcome my unbeatable bodyguard. Something suddenly weighed down in my hand. I looked carefully. The smile froze instantly on my face. Lying in my palm was a thumb-sized mud figurine made of lousy yellow clay. The craftsmanship was terrible. The features were just a messy blob. It wore a ragged rain cloak and held up something which looked like a plastic fork bought in bulk for $10 at the Yuwu small commodities market. I squeezed the figurine hard, and bits of dirt even fell off. System. Is this really your shopkeeper farmer for me? This thing isn't even better than a toy figure. You want me to use this thing to take on that old immortal flying outside? System made. Must be premium. Just as I cursed out the mud doll in my hands, a shrill, furious roar rang out in midair outside. Ji Qing. Elder Liu, still fighting Liu Qing, glanced inside the shop and saw Ji Qing collapsed on the ground. He swept his senses over. and detected Ji Qing's life force had completely vanished. That was their sect's talent, a once-in-a-century prodigy, the hope for the future of their sect. And now, just like that, inexplicably, killed in some rundown vegetable shop. The elder's eyes instantly turned blood red. Looking totally deranged, he took a blow from Liu Qing's whip, then forcefully pulled back to gain some distance. He hovered in midair, his whole body emanating a desperate, violent aura. Demonic fiend, how dare you kill my sect's prodigy? Today I'll wipe Qinglong Town off the map, so none of you will ever reincarnate again. Elder Liu roared and suddenly bit down hard. A large mouthful of golden glowing blood spurted from the tip of his tongue. It was his life essence, all sprayed over, an ancient black jade token in his hand. He raised the jade token high. His voice sounded as tragic as a night owl crying blood. I, Liu Kang, the 74th inner sect elder of Yuan sect, offer golden blood as tribute, and respectfully request the supreme elder to emerge from seclusion. As soon as the words left his mouth, the world changed colors. The once cloudless sky was instantly covered in thick, dark clouds. A force, seemingly, capable of crushing heaven and earth, weighed down like 100,000 mountains, descended upon little Qinglong Town. With Elder Liu's blood-curdling scream, his whole body rapidly withered, turning into a dry corpse. The sky seemed torn open by a giant hand. Dense black clouds rolled down toward Qinglong Town. There's no way I could stay under the counter now. This world-crushing pressure was killer. Clutching my head, I slid over to hide behind the shop door. Peeking out through the gap blasted open by sword energy, I widened my eyes to look outside. I saw a skinny old man walking in midair. With every step, golden ripples exploded beneath his feet. This old man was none other than Han Yuan sect, that legendary supreme elder said to be in seclusion. At that moment, I willed in my mind, instantly summoning the shopkeeper farmer rewarded by the system just now. With a swish sound, suddenly, a living person appeared at my side. I turned my head to look, and was instantly dumbfounded. He was a completely ordinary farmer, wearing a shabby straw hat, clad in coarse linen clothes and pants. There was even some fresh mud on his legs. In his hand, he tightly gripped a rusty iron pitchfork. He looked just like a buzz cut. Uncle who'd just finished planting rice in the field. Identical. Damn it, system. Are you messing with me? I lowered my voice, hopelessly tugged at my hair. I turned around and grabbed the farmer's arm. So anxious I was stomping my feet. Hey, brother. Uncle, take a good look outside. That's literally a living immortal floating up in the sky. Why whip out a rusty pitchfork now? Are you gonna try to stab him in the field or what? You wouldn't even be enough for him to floss his teeth with. The farmer didn't say a word. He just stood quietly behind the door. On his dark face, he squeezed out an incredibly honest, goofy smile, showing 2 rows of big white front teeth. Just kept smiling at me blankly like that. Don't just grin, man. Come on, say something. Shouldn't we start packing and run for it? I was so nervous I could cry, but the farmer stayed unmoved, still wearing that pure, clueless smile. As I stared at this goofy smiling farmer, eyes wide, facing each other, up in mid-air stood Elder Supreme, who had already locked onto my little shop, looking down at us from above. Those old eyes were full of arrogance and contempt. When Elder Supreme's divine sense swept past me hiding behind the door, and the farmer gripping the pitchfork beside me, he suddenly let out a piercing, wild laugh. Too ridiculous. Elder Supreme pointed at us.
His gaze,
As if he was looking at 2 ants he could crush at will, he mercilessly mocked us. I honestly thought the demon cult must have some earth-shattering secret weapon. But turns out they brought a simple farmer to guard them. Elder Supreme's thunderous voice echoed across the sky above all of Azure Dragon Town. Looking at the pitchfork-wielding farmer guarding the door, Elder Supreme chuckled. A mere mortal dares challenge me and my true form. With a furious shout from Elder Supreme, a giant golden elephant rose 100 feet tall out of nowhere. Its aura was overwhelming. The elephant lifted a paw as huge as a mountain, bursting with devastating power, about to flatten my little shop into dust. I shut my eyes in despair. But at that critical moment, the farmer beside me suddenly stepped forward, and the system prompt chimed in my mind. Detected host facing a life and death crisis at the nascent soul stage. Guard farmer requests to go into battle. Congratulations, host. Newbie guide bonus triggered. Received mythic level enforcer. One-time free trial card. No charge for this battle. Usual fee, 10,000 gold coins. Host, enjoy the thrill of instant victory. Trial card usable only once. No credit for future battles. When I heard the price of 10,000 gold coins, I nearly bit through my own molars. But hey, I'd be crazy not to grab this free lifeline. Secretly screaming in my head. Battle starts, accompanied by a crisp sound as the trial card activates. The goofy smile on the farmer's face didn't fade. But immediately after, gold light suddenly burst out around the pitchfork-wielding farmer, so dazzling and brilliant, instantly scattering all the dark clouds above. Under everyone's stunned gaze, this humble farmer's body expanded enormously. His coarse linen clothes tore apart, transformed into powerful shining silver armor. He wore a flying phoenix helmet. A divine eye opened wide on his forehead. His whole figure turned into Lang, the true lord, and his pitchfork morphed into a three-pronged double-edged spear. Elder Supreme's wild laughter stopped abruptly. His eyeballs nearly popped out, his whole face written with terror and despair. Lang Shen didn't waste a single word. He just gave a cold glance at that 100-foot true form, gripped his three-pronged double-edged spear in both hands, gently swung the weapon through the air. A blinding crescent-shaped blade slashed across the sky, with crushing, unstoppable power, cut straight through Elder Supreme, splitting both his true form and himself in one stroke. Elder Supreme dissolved into golden dust, disappearing without a trace. The sky instantly cleared. A heavy silence fell. The golden light around Lang Shen faded. He transformed back into the farmer with the straw hat and coarse linen clothes. The farmer turned his head, still tightly gripping that rusty pitchfork. Looking at my stunned face, he showed that honest, down-to-earth trademark goofy smile again, as if the guy who just slayed an immortal with a single strike wasn't him at all. I swallowed hard, forced down my pounding heart, straightened my wrinkled clothes, pushed open the battered shop door, walked out from behind the door. Outside stood Liu Qing, still gaping in amazement at everything, while all the disciples were already fleeing in all directions. Once the dust settled, I put my hands behind my back, spoke calmly as if everything was under control, said to Liu Qing, "Snap out of it. Go tidy up the entrance. We still gotta keep selling veggies." After that day, a legend spread across the world. Azure Dragon Town had an ancient divine dog that could crush 10 nascent soul cultivators with one slap, and an ancient divine warrior that could cleave through a cultivator at the divine transformation stage with one cut, with one swing, both guarding a mere mortal who runs a veggie shop. Elder Supreme, getting hacked into golden mist by our farmer with one strike, quickly became the top topic of gossip over tea and meals among the locals of Azure Dragon Town, with the legend of the invincible mortal shopkeeper spreading ever more wildly. Azure Dragon Town slowly became a forbidden zone and a must-visit landmark for cultivators. When passing by the shop door, the passing cultivators tiptoed, barely dared to breathe, afraid to disturb the golden-patterned divine dog, drooling lazily by the entrance. One noon, I was lounging in a rocking chair, casually munching on a cucumber, enjoying the peaceful life of the cultivation world. Suddenly, the sound of horse hooves and clanking armor shattered the calm of the town. I poked my head out to look, and instantly gasped. A fully armed squad appeared. Even their mounts were rare unicorn beasts, the royal guard, encircled the whole street so tightly you couldn't squeeze through. The carriage was drawn by 8 white horses, extravagant dragon palanquin, stopped right at my shabby shop's entrance. Beaded curtain lifted. A stunning woman wearing an ornate dragon robe, breathtakingly beautiful yet full of majesty, stepped down slowly, surrounded by the crowd. The Empress herself arrived, specifically came to pay respects to the gentleman. The lady attendant used spiritual power, announced loudly, shook my newly repaired wooden door. I was so startled I dropped the cucumber. Before I could recover, an inappropriate, but very familiar figure slipped out from behind the royal guard. still carrying a half-old wine jug. That same old geezer who made me pick the wrong system and keeps mooching off my shop for free cabbage. Suzanne, just seeing him. My temper flared instantly. I wanted to go confront him. But Suzanne walked straight up to the Empress. Suddenly his expression turned solemn, fell to his knees with a thud. Minister Suzanne bows before your majesty. Suzanne's voice was loud and clear. There wasn't a trace of his usual shifty demeanor. I stood behind the counter. It felt like I'd been struck by lightning. With a confused look, I glanced at Suzanne, then looked at the Empress old dang. Wait, old Sue, do you know Her Majesty? Suzanne turned his head to look at me.
He chuckled.
His eyes were full of mischief. Mr. Bai, I am not very talented, but I am the Imperial High Priest. The Empress walked into the shop. She gave me a slight bow. Her tone was sincere. Please don't blame me, sir. The High Priest was originally under my orders to secretly monitor Han Yuanzong. He happened to meet you by the roadside, saw that you wore ordinary clothes, but with a strange symbol printed on them. So he became suspicious. A strange symbol? I was stunned for a moment. Looked down at myself. At the short-sleeved t-shirt from Modern Times. The chest of the t-shirt had a huge black and white square code pattern. It was actually just a QR code you see everywhere nowadays. Just then, Suzanne stood up, stroked his beard, and said seriously, that black and white intersecting square pattern. I've searched ancient texts and never seen it before. So I suspected. Sir, you might be a spy sent by a neighboring country to deliver secret messages. For the safety of Daxia, I deliberately patted your shoulder, trying to keep you close for observation. I couldn't help twitching at the corner of my mouth. Now, the WeChat QR code on my shirt looks like a high-level enemy cipher to them. I barely held back the urge to complain. Rolled my eyes and asked, so what happened next? Suzanne coughed twice, glanced at Liu Qing, who was trying hard not to laugh behind me, and said with lingering fear, later I came back to the shop to test, and discovered another magic sect member here, and it happened to be the sect leader. I thought you all had evil intentions. Daxia's peril. So I nervously watched from the shadows for a few days. And then I raised an eyebrow. And then I saw that he was either eating cabbage or cleaning tables. Suzanne spread his hands. His expression was priceless. The sect leader worked harder than anyone. I thought, if all the magic sect switched to eating cabbage and cleaning tables, Daxia would finally have peace. So I never dared disturb your peaceful life, sir. After hearing all this, I almost wanted to pin this old fox to the counter and scrub him. The Empress's expression suddenly turned serious. She stepped forward and said, Sir, today I came in person, because Sakura Nation unleashed the god-level monster Yamata no Orochi. After the fall of Han Yuanzong, the border defense collapsed. The people suffered greatly. Since you can kill transformed gods in one blow, please, for the sake of all living beings, come out and help. After hearing the Empress, I nearly spat out a mouthful of blood. Sakura Nation has control of a god-level monster, repeatedly attacking the border. It's because Han Yuanzong fell. The border couldn't be defended. But come on, Han Yuanzong was killed by me. Actually, by my system. How did it end up all coming back to me? This mess ultimately landed right on my head. Your Majesty, please let me justify myself. I frantically waved my hands, utterly helpless. I'm really just a plain, ordinary vegetable seller. That whole thing with the mysterious old monster was just a fluke. As for that 8-headed greedy snake, you'd better find someone more capable. My skinny arms and legs wouldn't even be enough to fill its teeth. The Empress hadn't spoken yet. Suzanne, that old fox, spoke up first. He wore a knowing look. Stroking his beard, he smiled. Mr. Bai, you don't need to be so modest. I understand the concept of hiding your talents in plain sight. You can summon ancient divine generals at will, so what's an ordinary snake compared to that? Just when I was about to yank his beard, Liu Qing suddenly approached with eyes sparkling. She grabbed my sleeve and excitedly said, Yamata no Orochi. I heard it's a rare delicacy. Its meat is tender and filled with spiritual energy. If you made it into soup, it'd taste 10,000 times better than cabbage. Are you tempted too? I'm really not, damn it. Who wants to eat some nuclear mutant species like that? Just as I was about to firmly refuse, and even considered escaping with the yellow dog overnight, the mechanical voice I both love and hate in my mind suddenly rang out in a cheerful tone. Ultimate main quest activated. Slay the snake and banish evil. Defend Taiyuan. Quest background. Sakura Nation. Controls an 8-level serpent for a large-scale offense. If the border is completely breached, your farm's direct sales shop will also risk being destroyed by war. Quest objective. Go to the border and slay the level 8 serpent. Quest reward. Farm space fully upgraded. Unlocks retail, livestock, and persistence features. 10,000 system coins. 1 mythic lock opening blind box. Failure penalty. Shop destroyed. Host will be eaten by the level 8 serpent and digested into a pile of fertilizer. I was frozen on the spot. My mind buzzing. Turned into fertilizer? Can you act human, please? This punishment is way too humiliating. But those 100,000 coins and blind box rewards were like demons luring me with candy, relentlessly tempting my bottom line. Sir, the Empress saw my expression was conflicted, silent for a long time. She called out nervously, then bit her lip, and offered her final bargaining chip. As long as you're willing to help, Dacia's treasury will be open for you to pick whatever you want. I would even honor you as the Grand Master of Dacia. Forced by the system quest, I took a deep breath and held back my tears. People die for money. You have to fight for the Lion King. Anyway, I've got our Langshan and the yellow dog as backup. I put on an enlightened, sympathetic face. Hands behind my back, looking up at the sky at a 45-degree angle. Oh well, since the world is in trouble, how could I buy? Just stand by and do nothing. I'll take this job. Mr. Gao Yi, the Empress's eyes welled up with excitement. A dignified sovereign actually bowed deeply to me. Suzanne also bowed. What an over-the-top bootlicker. Sir, you truly have the bearing of an immortal, with a heart that cares for all the people. I ignored them. I turned to look at the little mutt scratching itself at the door, then glanced at the Fama grinning foolishly behind the door. With a Saizhao Wang, old servant, grab your tools. Let's go hunt the snake. So, amidst the cheers and worship of the people of Qinglong Town, I bit the bullet and embarked on the quest to slay the level 8 giant serpent. An hour later, I sat hopelessly on the Empress's luxurious dragon chariot. To my left lay a little yellow dog, paws up, fast asleep, drooling all over the floor. To my right sat a farmer gripping a rusty pitchfork with both hands, just staring into space with a silly grin. Directly across from me was Liu Qing, eyes full of fanatic worship, and the Empress looking on respectfully. However you look at it, this scene just feels so surreal. I even started to wonder, when we get to the border, should I unleash the dog or the farmer first? 2 days later, the dragon chariot stopped outside Dinjun City at the border. The city wall stretched for dozens of miles, looking like it had been chewed up by dogs, utterly ruined. There were charred craters and dried blood everywhere. On the distant horizon, a mass of black-purple poisonous clouds slowly approached. A colossal monster, as massive as a mountain, was slowly revealed within the poisonous clouds. It had a total of 8 thick snake heads like skyscrapers towering above. They writhed frantically in midair, their eyes glinting with cruelty amidst the yellowish underbrush. Every time those crimson tongues flicked, they sent a stinking gale roaring through the air, melting the massive rocks below into pools of green poison water. Atop the largest, most central snake head stood a general wearing Sakura Kingdom samurai armor.
He raised his katana and let out a maniacal laugh.
Empress, once Dingjun City falls today, this central land of Daxia shall all become the breeding grounds of the great 8-headed serpent. I swallowed hard, my legs uncontrollably shaking. I regret this. I really do. How the hell is this something a carbon-based life form can fight? I'm just a delivery guy, and my biggest flaw is being a total coward. Normally, I'd even avoid running into a big stray dog. But now, I'm supposed to face this 8-headed biochemical weapon? The Empress turned to look at me, her beautiful eyes filled with deep sorrow, carrying the lost hope of the entire village. She stared at me steadily. Come on. Tens of thousands of Daxia's surviving soldiers also turned their eyes to me in unison, their looks almost feverish, as if they were seeing a savior. I forced myself to take half a step forward, cold sweat instantly soaking my back, just as I was desperately trying to think of an excuse to go back to the city and use the restroom. That Sakura Kingdom general seemed to notice me. Who's this mortal? Even a pretty boy like you dares stand in my way? Level 8 serpent. Eat him! As soon as the words left his mouth, one gigantic snakehead lunged at me, jaws wide like a meteor crashing down, hurtling toward me as if plummeting from the sky. You don't even announce your attacks? In that life or death moment, I couldn't worry about keeping up any masterly airs, and dove aside, scrambling and rolling away. I grabbed at my feet, scooping up the little yellow dog still sprawled out fast asleep. I was just about to throw him like a shot put, when the system's deadly prompt sounded again. Warning. System. The guard dog, Zhao Huang's current hunger value is 0. Please feed him first. Are you freaking kidding me? At a time like this, I have to fill his bar before he can act? Flustered, I plunged my mind into the farm's warehouse. Through gritted teeth, I pulled out a high-grade spiritual herb I'd originally planned to keep as a family heirloom, and shoved it straight into Zhao Wang's drooling mouth. Eat, eat, eat. After you're done, get your butt to work. Half asleep, Zhao Huang automatically chewed a couple of times, snacking his lips and swallowing the superb spirit herb whole. Hunger fully restored, I shouted. Zhao Huang, bite him. With all my strength, I hurled the now fully charged furball straight at the gigantic snakehead. Rudely awakened from his dreams, Zhao Huang opened his beady eyes wide in midair, totally confused. Before he could react, he was caught up in the venomous gale and blown straight into the mud. Well, that really poked the hornet's nest. In the swamp, the little mutt freshly fed and watered let out an extremely low, suppressed growl. Next, a blinding golden column of light shot into the sky straight from the marsh, piercing right through the poisonous clouds above. With a roar that sounded like some ancient beast could shatter souls, a gigantic apparition appeared, its body covered in flowing golden patterns, forming instantly in the pillar of light. Zhao Huang's body instantly grew 100-fold, like some ancient beast that could trample the stars. Carrying an unstoppable aura,
He locked onto the level 8 serpent floating in the air.
the 8 snake heads, so arrogant before, the instant they felt that ancient pressure, suddenly shied back as if they'd seen a ghost. All at once they shrank back. You should always consider the owner before you beat someone's dog. You dare mess up his fur? I hid behind the dragon chariot, taking advantage of Zhao Huang's power, putting on a show and yelling at the top of my lungs. Zhao Huang made his move. He didn't use any fancy magic tricks. Just simple and direct, lifting that massive golden paw and slapping straight down on the snakehead that attacked me. He smacked it hard. There was a dull thud. That snakehead, bigger than a city gate, instantly burst into orange mush. The Sakura Kingdom general let out a terrified shriek, almost falling right off the snake's head. The serpent screamed in pain and went completely berserk. The 7 remaining heads let out chilling howls, all opening their jaws wide to unleash 7 multicolored beams of destructive energy. Flames, ice, poison, and thunder weaved together into a net of death, bearing down on Zhao Wang and me, blanketing the sky. As fierce as Zhao Wang was, his size still wasn't as massive as the serpent's, and he was forced to keep retreating under the intense assault. The golden phantom began to flicker faintly as well. Oh no, Sir's divine fist can't hold on much longer. Su Zan was hopping anxiously behind me. I gritted my teeth, then turned to look at the farmer who had been silently standing behind me, clutching a rusty steel pitchfork in a death grip. He was now facing a sky full of fire and venom, yet still wore that honest and somewhat clueless signature goofy smile. Old farmer. I grabbed his shoulder, just about to give him a pre-battle pep talk, when a huge golden paywall popped up in my mind. Detected target is a mythical creature guard. Farmer requires a hefty appearance fee to join battle. Single appearance fee, 10,000. Would you like to pay the system coins? Looking at the hard-earned savings, I scraped together selling vegetables. My heart was bleeding. Damn system, you're such a greedy scoundrel. Making a fortune from war, huh? But a glance at Zhao Wang about to be drowned in venom left me grinding my teeth and swallowing my frustration, frantically clicking confirm in my mind.
Pay.
I'm broke now, with the crisp sound of coins being deducted. I shoved the farmer to the front line, shouting, "Since I've already paid. Usually you chop wood in the backyard with so much gusto. Now there's a big old snake right here. Go slice it up for me, get in there." The Sakura Kingdom general laughed maniacally at the sight. "Is there no one left in Daxia? You actually sent some dirt farmer to die. Crush him into pulp for me." One of the giant serpent's heads suddenly plunged down. A massive shadow instantly covered the farmer's thin frame, just as those stinking venomous fangs were less than half a foot from the farmer's straw hat. The goofy grin vanished from the farmer's face. He slowly looked up. In those once cloudy eyes, two divine rays burst forth, brighter than the sun, even more terrifying than Zhao Huang's transformation earlier. 100 times the pressure descended on the battlefield. The coarse linen shirt he wore ripped apart seam by seam, transformed into a suit of glowing, dazzling, mighty battle armor. He donned a phoenix-plumed helmet. A third divine eye on his forehead suddenly opened, shooting out a beam of golden light that pierced through the world. In that moment, heaven and earth lost their color. All things rose and fell like shadows. The rusty, battered pitchfork in his hands, bathed in golden light, instantly became a cold, gleaming, murderous trident halberd, an ancient divine general whose blade could split cultivators in the nascent soul stage. A Lang Shen has descended? The Sakura Kingdom soldiers laughing crazily just a moment ago now looked like a strangled duck, mouth gaping wide, unable to utter even half a syllable. The arrogance in their eyes turned to utter despair. A Lang Shen paid no attention to their fear.
He simply gripped his trident halberd with both hands,
Raised his chin slightly, faced the mountain-sized 8th-level serpent, and swung his blade with easy grace. A half-moon-shaped blade arc, thousands of feet long, carrying unstoppable, world-shattering power, tore open the very fabric of space. There was no earth-shattering explosion, no deafening roar. Time seemed to stand still in that moment. The next second, in a deathly silence among tens of thousands on the field, the remaining 7 massive serpent heads, along with that Sakura Kingdom general, all fell cleanly from their necks. The flesh mountain crashed down right after, kicking up dust that blocked out the sky. Congratulations, host, on completing the ultimate main quest. Reward has been issued. Host has successfully saved the Daxia border. Hidden achievement unlocked. You really are a farm owner. Listening to the system's cheerful robotic voice in my mind, I let out a long sigh of relief and plopped down on the ground. That was fucking intense. I never want to do something this high stakes again for the rest of my life. The battlefield stayed silent for a full half-minute, then erupted in cheers that seemed to shake the heavens. The soldiers hugged each other and wept. The Jade Emperor ran toward me in excitement. Zhou Zun even fell to his knees, bawling his eyes out, bowing frantically. Meanwhile, a Lang Shen and Zhao Huang finished with their work, instantly became the goofy farmer and the wobbling stray dog once more. One squatted to my left, the other to my right, flanking me on each side. Triumphant return after battle. Within the Golden Throne Hall, the Empress overruled all opposition and bestowed heaps of rare treasures upon me. She even declared before all the court officials that she would grant me the title of king equal in rank to the emperor, promising me a share of the vast lands of Daxia. Honestly, at that moment, looking beneath the throne, at the many court officials, I almost blurted out, "Thank you for your favor, your majesty." But then on my damn system panel, a blood-red warning box popped up. Warning. Host attempting to shed farm owner status and accept a mortal government position. If you confirm acceptance, the system will immediately unbind you. All summons and cultivation will be withdrawn. Host will be teleported 20,000 meters high. For free fall. My smile froze on my face. Even my back teeth nearly shattered from clenching. You're ruthless. All right. I took a deep breath, forcibly tamping down the pain in my heart, and put on a look of profound sadness, as if seeing through all the illusions of the world. Your Majesty overestimates me. I'm merely a humble man from the mountains. This court is too small. It can't contain my path. With hands folded behind my back, I gazed up at the grand hall at a 45-degree angle, my voice tinged with age and obscurity. My true path lies among the fields, and within the spirit crops that feed the people. Fortune and fame are like clouds to me, finishing amid the awe and reverence of the whole court, some even with a hint of tears in their eyes. I flicked my sleeve grandly, took old Liu King the farmer and the dog with me, and left the great hall without looking back, hiding my achievements and fame. In the end, I still returned to this small town and reopened my vegetable shop. A few months later, Qinglong town's streets were still bustling, but no blind sect ever dared make trouble here again. No one dared cause trouble anymore. On a sunny afternoon, Liu Qing was squatting in the yard, humming off key tunes, eyes lit up, watering 9 newly grown spiritual carrots, sometimes sneaking a secret bite. The brown dog, back to normal, was still sprawled on the doorstep, soaking up the sun in utter relaxation, drooling all over the floor. As for the Alangshan who had once split nascent soul cultivators and obliterated the level 8 serpent in a second, he was now wearing coarse linen again, with his battered straw hat, turning the soil in the backyard, busy working up a sweat. I lounged comfortably in my armchair, sipping a freshly brewed cup of top-grade spirit tea. Shopkeeper Liu Qing wiped carrot juice from his mouth and came over excitedly to say that the sect master of Sky Sword Dragon next door had just sent a flying sword message saying he wanted the whole batch of our new pasture-raised spirit chickens and asked for a price. I held up 2 fingers and smirked at the corner of my mouth like an old pro with a sly merchant's smile. Tell him 2 premium spirit stones per chicken. If he says it's too pricey, let him buy somewhere else. All products from the Bai family farm system are guaranteed top tier, though I never became equal king, being the vegetable market tycoon in this cultivation realm, admiring beauties every day, playing with my dog and mingling with immortals. Tell him 2 premium spirit stones per chicken.